Hi guys, welcome back. So this should be a super quick video. I just want to talk about my Anastasia Beverly Hills products and which ones I love, which ones I don't love as much, and what I think about each of them. So I have mostly just brow products, but I do have a couple of other things. Just realized I forgot one. Okay, so my first and most beloved product, sorry if you hear the garbage man's here. Wait for him to leave. Anyway, so my most beloved product, which you can tell by the number of them that I own, is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. Now, I have this currently in 3 different shades. I think that if you were going to start doing your brows and you've never done them before, maybe you have no brows, like very little actual natural brows, I would go with the Brow Wiz for a few reasons. First of all, it's going to give you a more natural look than the Dipbrow pomade, but it's going to give you a more defined look than a powder. So if you don't have any natural brows, you would probably want to go with something like the Brow Wiz. Now, I love that on one end you have the tiny, skinny little point, and I love that on the other end you have the spoolie brush. I think that this is a really good product. I keep my empties of these. I have had a few empties, and I use the spoolie end just in my makeup brushes area. I clean the spoolie end like I wash all of my brushes, and I keep that for my, like there's no pencil in the other end, but I just keep the cap on that side and keep it standing up in my brushes area so that I always have a spoolie I can just brush through my brows. So I have that in dark brown, and then I was like, oh, that's a little too dark. But I can still use it. Like, I use 2 different colors, so I'll use like the dark brown on the outer half of the brow, and then I'll go in with like soft brown, and I'll do the inner part of the brow, so it just kind of fades naturally into a nice subtle soft thing. Okay, so first I got dark brown. Loved it, but it was just a little dark. Then I got chocolate. Loved it, but it was a little warm. Then I got soft brown most recently, and I think that is perfect. I'm going to show you the color differences so you guys can, and apparently I took the ends off the wrong product, so now all of this is no product. Okay, so this is dark brown, and I'll have you know I just did several swipes to get it that thick. Okay, that's dark brown. This one here is chocolate brown, and I'm doing like several swipes, so don't think it's like already that dark. Chocolate brown. And then this is soft brown. So there is a big difference between dark brown and chocolate brown in the center, but as you can tell, the chocolate brown is just a little bit more warm. So the soft brown is good too. Now I have super dark roots. This is my natural hair color up here. My ends were colored a few years ago, and I'm still growing them out. But do you see there's a significant difference between the ends of my hair and the roots? This is like more brown red, and this is more brown black. So I can get away with using any of the 3. I prefer soft brown just because it's a cooler tone, which matches my roots, and it looks more ashy, but in a good way. But I can wear the chocolate because I do have the red in my ends. So that's just something to think about. Enough about that. Now I'm going to go over the Dipbrow pomade. The Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow pomade. Okay, I've scooped a bunch out because my biggest complaint with this product, let me see the Brow Wiz before I say that. Okay, my biggest complaint with the Dipbrow pomade is that it says on the bottom, I'll show you, how long the product is good for. It has a picture of the little container, and it says 6M in there. You see it right down here? 6M. And boy, oh boy, is that frustrating, because I can never go through this entire thing in 6 months. Do you know how little you need to do your brows? Like, I'm going to show you. Okay, so here's a little tiny brush. That right there, what I just dipped in my brow, in my thing, that is like enough to do. I barely dipped my brush in, you saw. I can do like line after line after line after line after line after line with that much product. I mean, you barely have to dip your brush in it, and that's great. You feel like, oh, I'm getting a lot of bang for my buck. I wish she would make this in a smaller size. Like, make it in something half the size, and maybe I'd have a chance of going through it in 6 months. It's crazy. Also, you saw how intense it was. Now see, the Brow Wiz is I could go multiple times. It starts here and then over. I could go over it multiple times and I never got that harsh, harsh, harsh line. Look at this with the Dipbrow pomade, okay? Look at the intensity of me. I'm going over it over and over and over. Bam. I mean, you have to be super careful. I do not recommend the Dipbrow pomade for beginners. And if you do get it, I wouldn't go with a color that matches your hair color. Honestly, I think everybody should be going down a shade. So if you have black hair, go with brown. If you have brown hair, go with soft brown or ash brown or something. Because I really think that you're going to look like you have Sharpie brows. Now, can I use it and get a natural look? Yes. It's not impossible. It's just not for beginners. Grabbing a clean brush for you. Okay, so what I use on my brows today is this. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Medium Brow Powder Duo. I always do that. Brow Powder Duo, and this is in the shade Medium Brown. So you have two colors, and they're powder. So the darkest shade is right here. And then the lighter shade is not much lighter actually, but these are more gray toned. So I feel like I can really go crazy, go to town on my brows with those two colors because they're so light. Do you see how I did them today? Like I really was able to go really super dark with it. I mean, I don't have to worry with this product. That's what I mean. It's more user friendly. So the Brow Powder Duo is the most natural, followed by the lighter colors of the Brow Wizzes. Yes, that's what I said. And then the Dipbrow pomade is the most harsh. So price-wise, they're about the same, honestly. And I just feel like the Dipbrow pomade is really hard to work with. It can be worked with, and I think it's a great product. There's a learning curve, though. You're definitely going to have to learn how to use it, and you're definitely going to have to, you know, figure out what your look that you're going for is. So today, like, I went with a really strong lip and kind of a more dramatic eye. So I took it easy on the brows. I went with a light brow, and I'm okay with that. Like, it works. I'm pretty fair-skinned. But if you want bold brows and that's your thing and you really want to go for it, do the Dipbrow pomade. But for the same amount of money, I just assumed go with a Brow Wiz because you get the best of both worlds. You can make it harsher than the powder, but also you have the option of going super light. Since that tip is so fine, it really mimics the size of the hairs that are actually growing there. So if you don't have a lot of hair there, you can really sketch it in and it's waterproof. So that's always good. Now, I also have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. This is a deluxe sample size. I've had a couple of these. I do like this product. I have used it and I will continue using it. I used it today. I've used it in lots of tutorials. My only thing is it makes your brows kind of crispy, crunchy, I guess you could say. Like, my brows aren't soft right now. Now, who knows? Who cares? Like, is anybody that sees me in public today gonna say, oh my gosh, her brows are so crispy? No, they don't care. And it's great. If you have a problem where your brows like constantly like go wherever they want, the direction of the hair is just like all wacky, you do need a clear brow gel. I find that with the Brow Wiz on its own, it's got enough wax to the pencil. It's not super soft, but it's got enough wax that it holds my brows in place because my brows aren't too unruly. And if they are unruly, it doesn't bother me. Like, I have little hairs over here that don't always like follow the path that I'm trying to make for them, but I don't really care. But clear brow gel is a lot of money. Like, it's clear. It's not going to make a difference on your face. So unless you have a big issue with your brows not staying in place, I think it's an unnecessary step. But for some people, it may be extremely necessary if your hairs are unruly and wiry or whatever. Mine, because I have fine hair, I don't have a problem with that. But it's a good product. I think you can find some at the drugstore that are about as good for half the price, but it's a personal choice. You know, if you have a big problem with that, I would say go with the Anastasia one. It's a great product. This is the contour kit. This is the original. I know they came out with light and dark later, but I think initially just came out with one. This has 6 shades in it. I believe it was $40. It came with this banana shade, and I love that they have these little like pocket area things, and you can actually reach in there with a tool, which I don't have one handy, but you can pop these out, which is great because if you need, like me, where you use up one of the shades faster than all of the other shades, it's really important that you can replace that shade. You can also say, I don't use this color ever. So you can pop that one out and you can buy singles of any of these on her website and you can custom make a palette that you'll use. Also, if you're a makeup artist and you can go onto her website and you can purchase just these pans and put them into another palette, a Z palette of your own choosing with a magnet or whatever. So I think that this is a great palette. Now, do I think that the powders blend effortlessly? No. Honestly, I don't. So here is the darkest shade. That was that one in the very far corner. Okay, so I cleaned my hand. I'm going to put it down. Now, it's a nice color, but if I try to blend it out, I feel like it's a little bit hard to blend. Do you see? I mean, I'm still working at it, and it's just staying where I put it. You can still see that initial swatch. So I feel like these are not good for beginners. They just aren't that blendable. I do love the finish. Once you get them blended though, they're perfect. They really are a nice subtle bronze contour look. I actually didn't use it today. I know you're probably looking at my cheeks. But yeah, I don't recommend these for beginners either. I think if you really want something easy, go with the Benefit Hoola Bronzer. I think that's like a way better choice. Or even the Too Faced like chocolate products, whether it's Chocolate Soleil or the Medium Deep or the Light Chocolate or whatever it is, powders, because those are way easier to blend and work with. But I do love the highlight shades in this palette. I say I would go with all of her highlighting shades before I would choose her contouring shades. Like this color right here, this is the Shimmery Peachy one. Super intense and very easy. Like the highlighting shades with the shimmer are just like effortlessly. See how it just dissipated? Oh, it's just beautiful. But I don't feel like the mattes are as good. And I love the banana powder, but I would say that that's the most used color, and it was my holy grail under eye setting powder for a long time. But then I realized that I'm very fair skinned and the yellow shade might have been a little too intense and a little bit too, what's the word? I'm fair, so it was darker than my under eyes. Like, if that's the case, then you maybe should use it under your foundation. But if you're gonna be using a color that's darker than your skin on top of your foundation, you actually, it shows, that's what I'm trying to say. So I found other things that I like better, like the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder and things like that. But I do not own any of her liquid lipsticks. I would love to. I am hoping to get some soon, but I'm on a no-buy. I do have two hauls coming up. I have a Sephora haul and an Ulta haul coming up, but if they're not posted already. But other than that, I'm on a no-buy. Like, we're getting married this year. I've said it a million times, so we're trying to stick to a budget. It's hard. I don't like it. But I have bought a lot of great things for the wedding. Let me know what you guys want to see next. If you want to see, you know, some of the stuff I bought for the wedding, I could definitely do that. And let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what some of your favorite products are by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I will love reading your comments and maybe try some of them for myself. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.